and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since, and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Good evening, welcome, or good afternoon, or good morning, good night, if you're going. Thanks for coming. It is the 3rd of August. It is Thursday. Hello Tina, hello Jeff Partridge, hello Paul Hayward, hello Marcus Holm, hello Sarah Jacobson, and anyone else who's joining us who I can't see at the moment. We are off. I'm going to go at 9 kph, shall I, or 10? What do you think? I'm quite happy to go at 9. Julia Foster is in the run. Nikki is in the run with us. Hello, guys. Right, Nikki says more volume. Nine kph. Taper time. Yeah, taper time for me as well. One day taper. I'm having a 1-day taper tomorrow. Laurie Paulson says, hello everyone, watching the live stream from my couch today. running and riding later this evening. Sarah Jacobson, surely you need more volume if only one of your headphones is working. Is it the left one or the right one? So we are doing Bag That Badge and we're doing Couch to Sky K, which is 6.7 kilometres. Okay, so Sarah Jacobson's left headphone is working. The right one is not, because it wasn't charging. I often find that it's my right headphone that doesn't work, and I'll tell you why. Because I quite often fall asleep at night listening to something on my headphones, but I can only have one earphone in because I'm lying on my side, on my left side. So I take my left earphone out and I put it in the charger, and I lie on my left with my right earpod in. So then when I come to use them again, the right one dies earlier. Marcus reckons it's because my right ear sweats more than my left ear. By the way, if I'm talking funny, I really badly bit my tongue yesterday, and it's swollen up on the left side of my mouth, and I'm scared of biting it again, so I'm trying to avoid touching the left side of my tongue. Paul Hayward wants to suggest that I get a speaker pillow. Marcus says it sounds like you just had a root canal. Yes, it's a bit like that. So, Couch to Sky K in New York. I think most people in the run here have got this badge, but there are a few names I don't recognise. Catchpole, and is that a Greek flag or it's a Greek flag, isn't it? With a name like Paleogiannis, I think that sounds more Greek than Israeli, doesn't it? It's not an Israel flag. Jeff Partridge likes to fall asleep to the sound of the shipping forecast when I'm away by myself in the van. Anthony says, hello everyone, how are you doing? Enjoying the summer weather? Anthony, where are you living? Summer weather? It's been raining constantly, and it's due to rain on my run tomorrow, on Saturday. Okay, Jeff Partridge, you need to explain to Marcus Holmes what the shipping forecast is. Marcus, it might be as well to look up shipping forecast on Google. In the olden days, on the radio, they used to read out, they'd say, and now it's time for the shipping forecast. And they would read out the weather in the North Sea. So the weather forecast for coastal shipping areas around the UK and Northern Europe. But it's very interesting because it doesn't say things like it'll be raining in Denmark. The areas of the North Sea all have very interesting names, and so they'll say something. I don't know. I'm going to guess now, or just make up some names. In fact, I can't even think of anything now. Come on, Jeff, tell me something. Sarah says, this route makes me dizzy. Hello, Tom. Tom says, best advice to run a 65-minute half marathon. Tom, seeing as I've never ever run anything close to a 65-minute half marathon, I can't give you any advice. However, I'll give you advice for an 83-minute half marathon. Run interval sessions. Run 3 interval sessions a week, or 3 speed sessions a week. Okay, Julia Foster has given me a couple. So the shipping forecast, they would say something like, and now the shipping forecast. Hebrides, heavy. White, moderate, increasing northerly. Dogger Bank, mild, increasing westerly, 75. Things like that, like random words. And it all, people used to listen to it, like Jeff says, to fall asleep to. Paul Hayward already says, I'm feeling tired just listening to me saying that. There you go. Hebrides, White, Dogger Bank, Tyne, German Bite. Marcus Holmes says the number of my subscribers has just plummeted. Sarah Jacobson says from 10 to 5. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Look, we've done a kilometre already. Look, we've done a kilometre already. I must talk to people who are in the game. Julia Foster thinks I did a great impression of the Radio 4 shipping forecast announcer. Marcus Holmes reckons I was stuck at 10 subscribers for 3 years. No, it did go up by 1 a year. I had 7, and then it went up 1 a year. Let me just talk to everyone. Welcome to Bag That Badge, everyone. Is there anyone in the run who does not have this achievement badge? Sarah says we are partly responsible for his crummy YouTube stats. And so Marcus says that. That is true. In fact, I may well check what the stats were prior to your couple of live streams that you did on the channel and see if it plummeted after that. I know we lost one subscriber by the name of Jeff Partridge, who immediately turned off and swore he would never come back. Amy is currently sunning herself in Bulgaria. Well, I say sunning herself, I've no idea what the weather's like over there. Hopefully it's nicer over there than it has been here. So it's only a 6.7 kilometre route. Jeff Partridge says that in Amy's absence, he does not have this badge. Don't worry, Jeff. We'll get it for you. Jeff, seeing as you're new here, we will all help you through to get the badge. Alright, Marcus has a headache. Zero to Hero says it's a furnace here. Where are you? It's warm here. I mean, it is 24 degrees today, but this week has been pretty miserable, really. It's been raining. I do love these sky roads. Oh my god. Okay, it's 38.9 Celsius in Arkansas, USA. Wow. 38, nearly nearly 39 Celsius in Arkansas. Apparently it's 39 Celsius in Arkansas. Degrees inside shed quarters with 1 mile done. Notice how I seamlessly slip between metric and imperial, between Celsius and miles. You'll get me talking in Fahrenheit soon, and I shall weigh myself in pounds and ounces. So Jeff Partridge is racing 100 kilometres at the weekend, and there has been a yellow weather warning for Cornwall, where the race is. The camping and parking fields are already waterlogged. If you were wondering, 39 degrees Celsius is 102 Fahrenheit. For those of you who are not so au fait with switching between metric and imperial, or old money and new money, or Celsius and Fahrenheit. So good luck, Jeff, with the rain at the weekend. We also need good luck, Victoria and myself, doing our race at the weekend. We're doing the North Downs Way 100. Clive is doing the Plague 100k, and over Jeff's 100k and our 100 miles, we both have about the same elevation, about 3,500 meters of elevation gain in both of our races. So essentially Jeff's race is a bit hillier than ours because it's over a shorter distance. Just coming up to 2 kilometres, look. It's a beautiful day in New York. Thank you for joining me, everyone, on the Sky Roads. We are 2 kilometres into the run, 4.7 to go. Into the room. Two kilometres into the room. How is your mojo at the moment, Jacobson? Anna says, good luck, Jeff Partridge. Julia Foster says, whereabouts in Cornwall is it, Jeff? Julia, do you know St Austell? So it's just starts at St Austell, on the coast at St Austell, and like Jeff says, it runs out to a place called St Anthony's Head, 30 miles away, and then you turn around and you come back. Sarah's mojo, she says she's just taking it week by week. Hour by hour, day by day. And Mr. Holmes, what was your impression of Japan? So those that don't know, Marcus Holmes has been in Japan this week. He attempted a run up Mount Fuji, but he got stuck in crowds and unfortunately was timed out. He says, I loved every minute of being in Japan, so clean and respectful. That was my impression of China when I went. Yeah. Safely back home in Richmond, Virginia now, and running on Zwift, where his home is. Zwift, that is. Amongst his people. And will you go back and do the Mount Fuji race, Marcus? He says, Fuji was amazing, even if I didn't make it to the top, still a lot of fun. Those that don't know, Marcus raced up Mount Fuji the other day. Well, some of the way at least. How far did you actually get up to the top, Marcus? Were you over halfway to the top? Jeff Partridge, yes. Keep an eye on those cut-off times at the beginning. You don't want to get caught out there. They're pretty tight at the beginning, aren't they? But they ease off towards later in the race. 2.5 kilometres done of Bag That Badge this evening. Over halfway, Marcus got 5,000 feet climbed. So that's about 1,500 metres. 1,700 metres perhaps. Marcus and Sarah and Nikki, when talking about numbers above 1,000, do you know why? So I would say I'm more likely to say 1,700 metres, but you guys are more likely to say 1,700 metres, aren't you? Or, yeah, 1,700 metres you'd say, wouldn't you, rather than 1,700 metres? Or is it, do you split between the two? Right, both interchangeably. Okay, so Marcus would say both interchangeably, and Sarah would say, yeah, it isn't a hard and fast rule. Okay. In the same way that I slip interchangeably between imperial and metric. 0 to hero would say 1,700. Yeah, I mean that my impression of American English is that you would be more likely to say 1,700 rather than 1,700. Oh, Clive Finnemore's popped in. Welcome, Clive Finnemore. He of the never-ending smooth. He, not heat. Okay, Marcus says, but we would never announce the time by saying it's 7:30. A quarter till 8. He says, I don't even know what 7:30 means. We just missed the past out. 7:30. What would you say, 7:30? See, we would go interchangeably between 7:30 or 7:30. 7:30, yeah, 7:30. So Americans would say 7:30 or a quarter till 8. So it's a quarter until 8. I can see how that makes sense. We would say a quarter to 8 Or 7:45. Yes, I'd probably say 7:45 than 7:45. You wouldn't say 17:45 because that'd be 5:45. Yeah, 19:45. Then you can't get mixed up with AM and PM. Don't know what Clive's talking about. 5:22. Sarah Jacobson is calling it a day at 2 miles. Well done, Sarah. Well done, Sarah. Day by day, week by week, keep going. Yeah, military time, exactly. Well, you see, Clive Finnemore and Jeff Partridge are ex-military. Although we do have a sneaking suspicion that Jeff Partridge is still military, just undercover, secret agent Jeff Partridge, as he's well known in these parts, because he refuses to tell us what his actual job is or where he really lives. He says he lives in somewhere called South Gloucestershire. It doesn't exist. We've looked on a map. Nobody can find South Gloucestershire. It doesn't exist unless it's through a time portal. So it could be that Jeff does live in South Gloucestershire, but just in a different dimension. And yeah, we don't know what job he does. We just think it's some government job that he got after he left the Navy. So who knows? Who knows? We may be in the presence of greatness. Well, I mean, you're already in the presence of greatness. Obviously, I'm here. But, you know, Jeff Partridge may also be approaching greatness. Okay, Tina, right. Hang on a minute, right. 5:20. What does that mean then? 5:22. Does that mean 20 to 5? 5:20. Or is that 20 past 5? 5:20. Jeff Partridge. Oh no. Jeff Partridge says, "You are so close to the truth, Stephen. One day I will tell you." I'm just waiting for him to follow that with, "But I would have to kill you." I'm worried that I should probably stop speculating, because if I do hit upon the truth, then that may be the end of me. They may have to send the men in a black limousine with silent machine guns to do me in. 25 minutes to the hour. 5:22. 5:20. 25 minutes to the hour. You say 5:20. That is weird. That is very weird. The English are weird. Jeff Partridge says, "Suffice to say, I still do work with the military." Oh my god. Getting nervous now. I mean, to be fair, he's probably a cleaner. Oh dear. So if it was 27 minutes to the hour, would you say 7:20 then as well? Or is it just, does it only work with 5:20? 7:10, would that be 17 minutes to the hour? 1:10, is that 11 minutes too? Right, 3 kilometres left of Bag That Badge. We are heading downhill on the Sky Roads at the moment. Time to plug tonight's video extravaganza on YouTube. By the way, I hope you're all going to sit by your computers or put your iPads on at 8 o'clock this evening. So that's 35 minutes from now, or 30 and 5. 30 and 5 to the hour. In 35 minutes, we're just going to be playing the South Downs Way 100-mile race video. So Victoria and myself running the South Downs Way in the blazing heat. We are premiering that on YouTube tonight at 8 o'clock. And we will be in the chat. Want to throw abuse at us or tell us some jokes. Marcus Holmes says, is this the one where you threw up 100 times? Yes, it is. And in fact, I've pulled the video. The title of the video is Sick Again. So, yeah, come and watch Sick Again with us at 8 o'clock tonight in 34 minutes from now. Just enough time for me to have a shower. And then afterwards, you can tune in to the shipping forecast on BBC Radio 4 Longwave. Paul Hayward is going to join us, but he needs to get to Asda first to buy some popcorn. 2 bags of popcorn. Sarah Jacobson's not sure if she is going to join us because she doesn't really want to see videos of us throwing up. There is no actual video of us throwing up. Not like that famous video of Jim Walmsley throwing up at the Western States 100. Tina Beard may genuinely try listening to the shipping forecast tonight to go to sleep. Zero to Hero says, do you eat black pudding where you are? I roomed with an English guy in college and never have I ever heard of that horrible stuff. Not in England, Zero to Hero, no. In Scotland, they're more likely to have it, but some people have it in England as part of a full English breakfast. Not very often, though, I would say. Although, hang on, maybe actually, if you went to a restaurant, if you went to a cafe or a restaurant for breakfast, you're quite likely to have it there on the menu. Jeff Partridge says of the video tonight, how much gratuitous bare chest is there? There is a little bit, I have to say. Tina Beard has already seen it because she is a member of the channel, so she's paid good money to see my bare chest. Anthony Anderson says, is this the video where Victoria pushed you all the way? Yes. Dragged me kicking and screaming because I was so tired. I'd only just got back from the Backyard Ultra. I'd had no sleep, virtually no sleep for 3 days at the Backyard Ultra. And then I had to go and run 100 miles overnight. And I was so tired. I just wanted to lie down and go to sleep. And Victoria, I said, can we just lie down on the grass here and have a little sleep? She said, no, come on, let's get going. So what I did was I ran a bit further ahead of Victoria at one point and then lay down on the grass for 5 minutes sleep while she caught me up. Right, Clive Finnemore says, I had black pudding on my English breakfast last Saturday after parkrun. So there you go. People do have black pudding. Yeah, like I say, I think if you went to a cafe and ordered a full English breakfast, black pudding would probably be on the menu. But I don't think you would buy it very often and cook it at home. Nikki says, no speeding up yet, Stephen. Oh, 3 minutes. You want to speed up in 3 minutes, Nikki? Do we have to? Can't we just go nice and slow? I'm liking this pace. Is that Nikki trying to make you run faster? Sarah Jacobson says, Victoria is excellent at motivating people to keep going. Yeah. I mean, you say excellent. I mean, you could substitute that with annoying. But yes, she got us to the end. nagging. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Half an hour's time. Come and watch the video with us on YouTube, on the Film My Run channel. 4.5 kilometres in, although Clive Finnemore has only done 1.7 kilometres, because he's only he's only just been let out by Lucy. Sarah Jacobson, she's my wife. I'm allowed. All right, Nikki is going to try and speed up a bit. Okay, shall we join you then, Nikki? Nikki, when you speed up, so will we. So 2 kilometres left of Bag That Badge, and we're going to wait until Nikki speeds up. She says it won't last long. When Nikki speeds up, we will join her and speed up with her. Zero to Hero is quite right, you know. Clive gets locked in a room by Lucy and told to work, do the washing up or hoover the floor or pack all the belongings for the house move. This house move that I'm beginning to believe doesn't exist, because Clive's been moving for about a year and they haven't done it yet. Zero to Hero says, oh yeah, I'm married too, I know how it is. Exactly. So there you go. So Clive has now done 2 kilometres. The rest of us are on 4.8. Although Marcus is on 5.3. Bert from France is on 6. Draper is on 5.1. Bull is on 5.8. I suppose I should go and drop some ride-ons, actually. Let me do that. Tom White says, will you do the Paris Marathon again? Yes, most definitely. I mean, I've done it. Is it 11 times now? I've done Paris 11 times. And it is now my PB course again. I will do it again, but we have been considering not doing it this year. Sorry, next year, 2024. We have thought about doing the Brighton Marathon and making, you know, our annual training series from January to April. We're wondering about doing Brighton and making it a weekend thing where we host you guys for a weekend. I mean, we're not putting you up in our house, but we will host you for the weekend, take you to places, go for runs on the downs before the marathon, or rather do park run or something like that, and we'll take you out in the evening or whatever. So we're thinking of Brighton Marathon for next year. Tom White says Berlin is flatter, I hear. Yes, Berlin is definitely flatter. Berlin is the flattest of any of the main marathons. And it is the one where if you want to go and break a marathon world record time, most of the runners would go there to do it. And it is currently the world record course. Kipchoge, of course, last year. And I will be running Berlin Marathon again this year. Clive Finnemore says, if the house move does finally happen, I will take photographic evidence. Yeah, we do need to see that, Clive. Apparently Tina Beard has been living in Clive's cupboard for 3 years. She says Clive has it good. And Jeff wants to know if Tina is packing crates yet for Clive. Right, less than a mile to go now, 1.5k of Bag That Badge. It's night time now in New York and we're running around the reservoir. So this will be my last run now this week on Zwift. Day off tomorrow. Big long run Saturday and Sunday. And then I'll be back on Monday, but we'll be commentating on the Monday community run. I doubt if I'll have the legs to run it. I'll see, but I don't think I will. So I will probably commentate or chat at you all on Monday evening, Monday afternoon, depending on wherever you are in the world. Oh, Nikki has sped up. I didn't notice that. Well done, Nikki. Sorry, Nikki, I actually completely missed you speeding up. I was too busy chatting away, and I missed you speeding up. I'm sorry. Sarah Jacobson says, is Berlin flatter than Chicago? Well, in all honesty, I don't know, because I don't know what the elevation profile of Chicago is. But what I do know is that if you want to break a marathon world record time, you go to Berlin. Having said that, the women's marathon world record was set in Chicago. The old women's marathon record that Paula Radcliffe had for however many years it was. 15 years? No, more than that, wasn't it? Anyway, Paula Radcliffe's world marathon record, I think that was set in Chicago. Tom White says, what's your PB at Berlin? Don't ask, Tom. It was a bad day at the office. I've only done Berlin once, and I came in 3:24, I think. But I was trying, but I just didn't have the legs, and deep down I knew I didn't have the legs on that day. I hadn't done the training. I was doing long run training rather than speed training. Tina Beard is going to come and sleep in shed quarters when we do the Brighton Marathon next year. You are more than welcome, Tina. You can sleep on the sofa. We do have a sofa in shed quarters. You can sleep on that. It's where I regularly sleep when Victoria kicks me out of the house. The difficult thing about mine and Victoria's marriage and relationship is that if and when we divorce, we have a very big problem splitting everything up, because this shed is essentially mine. So what we've decided is that I will live in the shed when we get divorced, and I will sleep on the sofa, and I will be allowed into the house at 15-minute intervals to make tea or coffee, and that'll be my lot. That will be me, just living in a shed at the end of the garden, at the end of my ex-wife's garden. We've got it all planned out, Marcus. It says, so romantic. Yeah, we like to, predict things before they happen. So we have got it all planned out. So Nikki is up at 5.8. Paul Hayward says, I could have a bath in the paddling pool. Yes, that's a very good idea. Bathing in the paddling pool. So that'd be good. I just basically need the only thing I need in here is a small fridge, a kettle maybe. Americans don't know what a kettle is. There you go. So Tina says, yes, see, if you expect the worst, then you can never be disappointed. So there you go. However bad it gets, I can just say, well, at least we're not divorced. Oh, 5. Don't tempt fate, cousins. You know that. You know what side your bread's buttered. Don't tempt fate. Right, 5.9 kilometres in. 39 minutes done. Jeff Partridge says he's got a chemical toilet, a chemical loo in his shed. What more could you want? Exactly. Tom White says, I found Brighton Marathon hilly in some parts. It is. I would say Brighton Marathon is not a marathon for a PB course. There are some hilly parts to it, indeed. 6 kilometres done, 700 metres to go. But I think we would be doing Brighton Marathon as a social run. And I'll leave the speed for London Marathon next year. I think that's, if I'm going to target a fast marathon, it'll be London next year. And we can use Brighton as a nice warm-up, long run. Okay, so Jeff Partridge has a chemical loo in his shed. Tina Beard says, I've beaten you, Jeff. I have a shower and a toilet next to my treadmill. Trust you to go one better, Tina, says Jeff. Jeff, there's no point in trying to argue with the women. They will always be one better than us. You'll never get one over on the women. "500 metres to go. Well done, everybody. Thanks for taking part." We've got 5 minutes left of running. Iron Maz over on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. Iron Maz says, anything can be a toilet if you're creative enough. And as ultra runners, don't we know it? We all know that. A nature wee. All heard of a nature wee, haven't we? Oh, but Tina, have you got a camper van? Says Jeff. Jeff comes back. Jeff comes back at Tina, but Tina is already one step ahead, you see. No, Jeff, I don't camp. Because there you go, you see. Tina is too upper class for camping. Tina would always book a hotel. Okay, so we've got, right, Tina and Jeff are now loggerheads with each other for the rest of the run. Thankfully, there are only 300 metres to go. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Thank you for watching. Well done if you've taken part. I didn't drop any ride-ons in the end, did I? Let's do the last few. So there's Roberts. Well done to Roberts. Jeff Partridge. There we go. Clive Finnemore. Hello, Clive. Nikki. Well done, Nikki. Well done, everybody, says Jeff. Great running. Have a good weekend when you get there. And Catchpole. Well done to you. That's everyone that I can see on the screen. Julie Foster. Thank you, Julia. Anthony Anderson says, I don't blame Tina for not going camping. Tina says, you'll have to do better than that for our date, for that first date, Jeff. Come on, Jeff, you're losing it. Clive Finnemore says, good luck, Stephen and Victoria at the weekend. Have a good one, everyone. Yeah, good luck, Jeff, as well, for his 100k at the weekend. So we will be starting at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. Jeff Partridge will be starting at midnight on Saturday night, going into Sunday. Laurie Paulson says, good running, everyone. Good luck at the weekend. Anthony says, good racing, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I will see some of you in 15 minutes over on the Film My Run channel for the premiere of Sick Again, the story of our South Downs Way run. Thank you, Anna. Tina says, wishing all you ultra runners the best for the weekend. Hope the weather is kind. Yes. Fingers crossed for the weather. Looks like it might rain, but there we are. And that's us done. 6.7 kilometres for Bag That Badge this weekend. This week. We'll be back for another Bag That Badge next week. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for running. And that is it for this week's Zwift broadcasts. Because Clive can't live stream at the moment because all his stuff is packed up ready for his house move. So yeah, no more live streams this week. We'll be back on Monday evening for the community run. So we'll see you then. Paul Hayward says, good luck, Stephen and Victoria, and Jeff. And Jeff, cheers, Paul. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Take care, look after each other, and have fun. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.